Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS featuring Robotech. Today we're watching episode 21, A New Dawn. They have been on fire over at Robotech recently. Since episode 18, it has been a string of fantastic offering after fantastic offering. Let's see if the trend continues. Before we do that though, friends, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. You'll be alerted anytime we go live with Robotech or any of our other sci-fi offerings. And of course, if you'd like Robotech or anything else that we do early and in its full-length format, the link to the Patreon is in the description. Not a fan of Patreon? Join us at YouTube memberships. You get all the episodes a day early, plus bonus episodes for some of our other series. But friends, all that is then, and this is now, and now it is time to continue the series that eluded me in my childhood and is making my very much older adulthood, very much older, whatever, even that much more fantastic, friends. And of course, that has to do with all of you watching along as well. So friends, let's fly. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction, and away we go. Fanfare! It's early, but I'm all ready. 2 cups deep, and this is my third. You're welcome. It's always one of my biggest fears, is that I'll be like rocking a booger through like shit on my in my beard, like foam, through like a really good reaction and completely fuck it up, like something real dramatic or poignant. There I am, rocking a bat in the cave. God, this show is really fun. Oh, excuse me. We haven't seen Miria yet. She has been on the SDF-1, and we're assuming to learn the identity of Max because he bested her in space, in the air, in the skies, I should say, and she wants to kill him. So we've got that going on, and again, like I said, Max is an ace in his Veritech, but can he withstand the fight of a physical confrontation or gunfight or something?
It's a crushing blow to the citizens of Macross Island who have rebuilt their city inside the ship.
I like how they have a highway now. That's how big Macross City is. They have like an overpass.
To celebrate the premiere of a new kung fu film entitled Small White Dragon, which stars Min-Mei and her cousin Kyle.
Looks to me like you've been celebrating enough for both of us.
Well, I'll admit I'm enjoying myself.
I'm a bit of a drunk.
Will they give me anything I want?
Ha! No problem. Hey, you'll need 2 more hands just to haul the money home.
Oh, this makes Min-Mei much more relatable and likable.
I want to make a reservation up front for someone who's coming to the film.
Seat in the front row for tomorrow night. I don't know. It's pretty late.
I'll do anything for you. I'm not sure I can find a seat.
Excuse me, how clumsy. I could just die. I must have slipped on an ice cube.
Right.
Quaint little dress, so full of charm. Lovely, dear. Did you make it yourself?
Jan! Hey, Jan! Where are...
Yeah, Jan, what's her name?
Hold on there, dear. She's not terribly interesting. She's just a child. Why don't we go...
Right. I'm the real movie star. I'm pretty sure Jan was a movie star like before, and then she went on the SDF-1 and is no longer famous. I think that's hilarious. She's just like B quality, and somehow Min-Mei's like the superstar.
The military base, which houses the fighter squadrons, remains on peaceful but watchful alert.
Nice.
Hello, Officers Barracks, East Wing. Can I help you?
Everybody, that's a magazine.
All right, could you please tell him that seat number A5 has been reserved in his name for the first showing of the film Small White Dragon tomorrow night? Just tell him it's his little lost friend.
You'll know who I mean if I tell him that?
That boy didn't sound too bright. I wonder what kind of people they're taking in the military these days.
I don't know, but you left very few context clues.
I'm back. Right. Oh, Lieutenant Hunter. What? Sir, you got a phone call from somebody about an hour and a half ago.
Who'd be calling me this late?
It's your little lost friend.
Really? Well, all right.
I believe she mentioned a movie or something? Oh, well, he'll find out for himself, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Way to, you had one job, buddy.
Well, how about just ringing through? I'm returning her call and it's important.
We can't give you the location, but we'll ring straight through.
I don't know why you're so upset. You were the toast of the party tonight, and tomorrow your first film's being premiered. Try to get some sleep. You'll feel better.
Shut the F up.
Well, she must have been asleep. I wonder what she was calling about.
I thought Rick was like done with this. when he hung up on her.
Everywhere I
Remember
look
that,
in this
everybody?
town, there are soldiers.
Oh,
I'll find the one who shot me down pretty soon, huh?
she didn't get shot down, though. I guess she just feels like she got beat. Right? She didn't get shot down.
Shooting me down must have been a great achievement for him to be honored by so many. Huh?
I think it'd be great if she thought that Min-Mei was the one that did it. Kills Min-Mei. I mean, no, of course I don't want that.
Thank you so much for coming down.
Is there any way that we... I should stop. I was just going to say, I mean, Min-Mei or Kyle, everybody.
Min-Mei's prettier than I thought she'd be. I'm glad we made it down here early before everybody started showing up.
Oh, Max. Max is in-house. There's no way she can figure out that it's Max just from... She didn't... Oh my God, she's sitting right beside him.
And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the stars of the movie, Min-Mei and Kyle.
I do think it's kind of cool that they're making movies and stuff on the... It's interesting.
I just hope the audience enjoys my performance.
Well, there's Rick. He's in the back, though, because he didn't realize you left him a seat because of the cryptic fucking message.
To me, like the audience loves you in everything you do. And how about you, Kyle? Have you got something to say to your...
How do you like my bangs?
And now a special treat. Min-Mei has agreed to sing
Oh,
for us in honor of
great.
this occasion.
Now, you all did tell me something that while Min-Mei and Kyle are cousins, they are cousins by marriage, not by blood. Let's play the shit out of this one. What is it? It's really unreal, everybody.
That fantasy sometimes distorts reality and should be accepted only as an
I
amusement.
love that they kept the fact that the damage that Max did to the bridge. Oh, they're not going to understand.
Possibly an instructional requirement for their soldiers.
What a truly magnificent...
Look how close.
That's right, you have to see her in real life. We were hanging out with the girl all the time.
In fact, the three of us all became her close personal
Well-
friends for a while.
Let's elevate the lie.
Did you see what he just did? We must report this information immediately to Commander-in-Chief Dolezal.
I was afraid I'd lost you. Sorry.
Yeah, Rick, let's get the hell out of here, dude.
Thing like it.
It's weird. Why do they do that?
I'm amazed they seem to be enjoying it.
Nice.
Make their people press their lips together?
Yeah, it happened every day.
That's fantastic.
Man, that guy is definitely sweaty.
They sure did.
Yep, many times.
My lips got sore from always being pressed.
Let's double down on the deception.
Excuse me, can I get through here, please? Excuse me. Excuse me, ma'am.
Lisa,
Lieutenant Commander.
those butt cheeks outrank you.
And I just happened to be within reach. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's it exactly. I can't think of another reason why anyone would want to touch you.
Oh, come on, Rick. 2 steps back.
Now, what in the world were you doing there in the first place?
I went to see the movie.
What did you do? Get up right in the middle and walk out of the film?
That's exactly what I did.
Commander, we're being attacked.
Attention, prepare for modular transformation. Please move to the nearest shelter.
Modular transformation.
Find a shelter around here, Commander?
What? What's the matter with you? We can't go to any shelter. We have to get to...
You're not going to get out in time. That's what he's saying.
Hold on.
She must not have been in city during the transformations. That shit's quick.
Hurry! We'll just make it up!
I got you. Hold on.
Remember, I'm haunted by we have 70,000 residents in Macross City, and now it's 56.
Rick! But no, it's Kyle.
I mean, we're down 20%. That's from shit like this.
That was pretty scary, I guess, but don't worry, you'll be all right now.
My bangs have you.
Their timing's perfect, right in the middle of the film.
I've got to find him.
Jesus.
Oh, a dead end.
Oh, no!
Wow.
If we hadn't turned just then, we might have been crushed to death. And anyway, none of this would have happened if you had gone with me to a shelter like I told you in the first place.
Let's not fight.
That is no way to be talking to a superior
Right.
officer.
Oh, now you're gonna pull rank on me while we're trapped in the corner of the ship.
This is old hat for you, Rick.
I wonder how Sammy's handling things.
As a matter of fact, so is the rest of the bridge.
No, Pearl Squadron was supposed to move their planes to intermediate level C4, not B block on the upper flight deck.
Bridge, we don't understand your instructions.
Oh, Sammy. Where's Claudia? Sammy's third. Honestly, I would have gone with Vanessa or Kim first. Sammy seems the most rookie-ish.
Be civilized enough to talk to me, Lieutenant Hunter. I get insecure when people don't talk.
Oh, come on, Lisa.
On the other hand, maybe we do have some subjects we can discuss.
Like?
I wonder why the captain made a transformation of the ship before the battle really began.
The bridge officer begins the transformation. If I'm not there, then Sammy's in command.
Sammy's in charge? That explains everything.
Whatever you may think, she's specially trained for
Yeah,
that
Sammy's...
job.
She's just maybe a little over her head right now.
But the most dangerous part of a battle is when you think you're better than your opponent.
Do I hear you talking like a real squadron leader?
Yeah, there's always somebody better.
It explains why they fight so well.
Gesundheit. Somebody must be talking about me.
Sitting here talking to you reminds me of the time we were both held hostage on the enemy ship. We escaped by disguising a battloid as...
Oh, Ben.
That was some adventure, wasn't it? I'm not as upset now as I remember being
We don't
back
need a
then.
recap, please. We've had like 2 recap shows recently.
We'll just have to wait until the emergency's over.
That's right. We should be able to get out of here just as soon as the enemy breaks off their attack.
We didn't see anybody attacking, though.
I don't understand their tactics at all. What keeps them from just destroying us when they have that much power at hand?
It's so strange they haven't even reached out to see if they can get the ship.
But how long can a big tug-of-war like that go on?
I guess until one side or the other gets strong enough to take over. At that point, we'll either be destroyed or left alone.
So Britai's got Chiron to wrangle.
Attack Force Ruby, please give backup support to Purple Squadron in the 3rd quadrant.
She's getting used to giving battle orders.
She's better, but sometimes still a bit scattered.
Please don't talk while I'm trying.
Yeah, I mean, let Sammy cook here.
Maybe if I yell, "Hey!
Save your throat.
Anybody
They're
out
all
there?
inside.
Hey there! Help us out of here!"
We are out of that brand.
So what made you decide to come downtown and hang around the theater?
Was she gonna go see the movie?
It's hard to imagine someone like you going to a movie.
Does it surprise you to discover I like to go out?
I guess I always pictured you as a grouchy old lady.
Yeah, that's...
Sometimes I'm smart.
Sometimes.
I don't think you're that interested in her. No, it has to be Kyle. I'm right, aren't I? Aren't I?
No, don't push me.
Kyle reminds her of Carl because of the pacifism.
Well, aren't you? Huh?
Yes, rocks, glass houses, all that stuff, Rick.
I know just what that feels like.
You mean you left the theater for the same reason I did? You couldn't stand to see the person you're in love with kissing someone else. What a joke.
Are they gonna make Lisa in love with Kyle? I don't like that.
He looks exactly like the guy I was in love with when I was a lot younger. He had to go away and then he died before we had a chance to get married.
Bye-bye, Mars. I finally made it.
Just can't bear it.
You like a handkerchief?
I just found it over here. It's not mine.
I suppose being in love is the only thing that helps put any meaning in our lives.
Yes, I think you're right.
Well,
Our performance profiles came in almost perfect. With a little bit more battle experience, you're going to be just fine.
Thanks, I'm trying not to make mistakes.
nice job, Sammy.
I know, Mr. and Mrs. Monkey. Watching the people go by.
I'm glad I'm here with you.
You're not so bad yourself.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. After today, I have the feeling I could get to like
What?
you.
That's funny, because I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
I'd better get back to the bridge. The transformation is over.
I suppose, but let's not rush, okay?
I imagine the people from the premiere have all gone home by now.
Man, you think they would do... Hey, it's Petite Cola.
Okay.
Just hold on a minute, Lieutenant. Commanders make more than lieutenants. Why don't you let me buy it?
All right, but just this one
Just
time.
this one
I may
time.
want to take you to dinner next week.
Oh.
Here. Quick, over here.
What? Oh.
You better stay back.
Was it Min-May?
I guess we'll just have to live with it.
Well, let's not worry about them. Kyla's her cousin, and she probably loves him.
Again. By marriage.
Yes, I guess I should be going. I better get back to the barracks before they think I've gone and jumped ship.
Rick, do you have to run off so soon?
Make the right call here, Rick.
I'd like for you to stay.
Well, I'd really like that.
There we go.
However, it's a hard life in the military, especially at wartime, and whether or not Rick and Lisa can make their relationship work remains to be seen.
Nice. All right, everybody, we just got done watching Robotech, episode 21, A New Dawn. I had Battle Him in my head, and I couldn't get out of it. All right, friends, and the only thing we have left to do is to talk about it. All right, everyone, just got done watching Robotech, episode 21, and I keep wanting to say Battle Him, and it's not. It's A New Dawn. God, it's in my head. So we just watched a new Dawn. Again, this was a kind of a touch base episode. Luckily, they didn't go into like full blown recap, but they did show some kind of flashback scenes that they didn't need to show. But again, I understand why they do stuff like that. They need to buy themselves a few minutes or seconds or something. We got a couple of advancements here. I'm a little disappointed in that the writing for Rick has been so great in 18, 19, and 20. Really, really great. You know, we saw a more mature Rick. We saw a more, almost like a more developed Rick, it had more depth to him. He wasn't just this shallow kind of kid. We kind of returned a little bit to that earlier in this episode, but again, and again, you all have done a really good job of kind of helping me with Rick. In the when he like my thing has been from the beginning, Rick is the bridge between the young target audience that they want to hit and like adulthood. So you have to have somebody that the kids can kind of relate to in Rick. And I kind of forgot my own kind of theory for that, because in having Rick kind of indecisive, especially around something like love, with which I can tell you right now, if I'm, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to, I'm not going to really understand what's going on here. So they're going to have to kind of spoon feed me and hold my hand through it if I was a kid. And so I think that's what they're doing. And I need to kind of realize that Rick, that's part of Rick's job, is to help the younger audience understand what's going on by his own kind of questioning and kind of like doubling down on different questions or statements, to kind of really kind of bring it home that there's something going on here. Really, I think that was best shown in the explanation of Lisa's kind of affection or attraction towards Kyle. He was like, "Oh, you love Kyle," and she was like, "No, he reminds me of somebody that I lost." And so that was all explained. Again, I think it was a flesh out more of not the details of Robotech, but more like the details and the description of love for the target audience, so they can be like, this is how it's going to work. We had somebody that liked somebody, and now Lisa likes Kyle for these reasons. Rick likes Min-Mei sort of for these reasons, and even Min-Mei is upset at Rick because he didn't sit at the seat. So all of these things are kind of explained and really like had the spotlight put on them to really kind of reinforce these inner dynamics of love and relationships for the target audience. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I get upset when Rick says stuff that's like insulting, and it's not, at the very least, it's not thoughtful, like he'll just kind of very kind of rough and coarse with some of the things that he says, with no real kind of empathy towards how those lines may affect Lisa or anybody really that he's talking to. He didn't double down on that, though. He kind of started down that path and then pulled back. And again, I think that now, if I'm kind of applying that Rick is the bridge from the target to forward, to understand these kind of, more mature themes, I have to accept that he's always going to have a step back before he takes a step forward. It's just prior to episode 18, Rick's step backs were like 2 or 3 step backs, and then maybe a step forward to kind of write what he had said. Now we're seeing almost a switch to that, where Rick is advancing more than he's kind of, regressing, which is great. We need Rick. Lost Roy, lost Ben. Rick needs to kind of grow into that role of main protagonist, of hero. I do like that, Lisa has said that they've noticed that, Max is this incredible flyer. His battle efficiency stuff comes back with like the highest possible marks. Like his decisions in air are almost, infallible. It's something that we've seen since his first flight, that he's just out there kicking ass. And so it's a foregone conclusion that at some point Rick's going to lose him from the squad as Max goes to take on his own squad. I can only imagine, simply because there's an attrition at play here. To my knowledge, they didn't pick up any new Veritech pilots while they were on Earth. They could have, and they could easily explain that they did, but they didn't mention that. So we got to assume that we're still going with the same set of pilots that was initially kind of, placed aboard the SDF-1 as their assignments. And so we've lost some. And you have to imagine now that while they put people like Rick into a position and things like that, I'm sure they've mined the 70,000, 56,000, thereabouts population of Macross to find anybody with like flight potential. Very similar like Battlestar Galactica, the remake for that, where at one point, they had to kind of look around and make sure that, or not look around and make sure, but they had to like kind of like scour the fleet to find new Viper pilots. So, I'm assuming something similar to that is happening, but it's almost like we've lost a lot of our the loss of Roy was felt, but not really affects, because Roy was in and out so much. I really think Ben's loss affects a lot, because Ben was like the third of the three amigos with Max and Rick, and now it's almost like Max and Rick are alone, and there's no real kind of like discernible other that is like a pilot. They really need like that third pilot to kind of make the story work a little bit, because they lost Roy, so they can't bounce anything off of Roy like in air. They lost Ben, they can't, kind of have that chatter, and it can't just be Rick and Max talking back and forth, especially if Max goes to lead another squad. Then we're really lost. So I'm hoping that they find some more pilots like from within the fleet, or they kind of like elevate a pilot that was already there to like a more of a prominent speaking recurring role. They need that. And okay, so morbidly. And you know what? I know a couple of you out there too might not admit this, but you think it, and I know it. My thing is, Miria is there to kill the ace that took her honor. And she didn't get shot down. She got beaten, but she didn't get shot down. I guess maybe that's the same in her mind. No, I'm telling you. The idea that she thinks that Kyle's the one that did it, the humor of that is not lost on me. However, I'm going to say this. If Miria is, I'm assuming that she is just incredibly badass. She wouldn't go into the heart of the enemy base and not be very confident in her abilities outside of her battle mech. I'm assuming she is just one hellacious fighter. I'm assuming that, or like warrior as far as like weaponry or something like that, just in her, non-armored or mechanized form. If that's the case, so we do know that Kyle is a hell of a fighter. Is it wrong that I want her to think Kyle is in fact the ace that beat her in the air and that they fight and that she wins? Is that wrong? Is that wrong that I want to see that? If that's wrong, I don't want to be right. So whatever though, I'm half joking. But this show's good. This one was a little bit of a step back for me as far as just like kind of the quality that we had in the last three, and that's completely fine. You gave me 3 incredible episodes. We need to kind of like inhale and get another lungful of air before we start screaming again. And I think that that's coming. Battle Hymn looks very promising as far as I don't have to have combat for the episode to be great by any stretch of the imagination. The Long Wait still is one of my favorite episodes. But, the combat really helps us with the dramatic moments in Robotech. You have to have somebody in danger. You have to have, that threat of war, of the realities of war very prevalent. And that helps. It's always kind of a shadow over everything. Like even in today's episode, we didn't see the actual fighting, but it was there and it was present. We saw what it does to Macross City, and we saw what it does to Sammy. Sammy's elevating. They do a good job of making sure that you kind of like touch base with everybody and see how it's affecting them. Robotech is such a pleasurable experience, everybody. I love watching and I love seeing exactly what's going on and flying with you all, so I appreciate you being here. If you could do one more thing for me, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ringy-ding-ding that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted anytime we go live with Robotech or any other Saturday morning React-TOONS or any of our sci-fi offerings. And of course, if you'd like Robotech or anything else that we do in its full-length format and get it early, the link to the Patreon is in the description, my friends. But all that is there. And this is now. And now it's time to say goodbye from Robotech. So where should we say goodbye from? Well, I think the easiest place to say goodbye from, or maybe the happy, let's pick something happy. Let's do this. We are saying goodbye from the bridge of the SDF-1 as we deliver some coffee up to the crew. And as we see that Sammy is sitting there with a slight smile on her face, we know that she took Lisa's point job this time to kind of dictate everything. And while it's not meant to be condescending, when we hand our cup over to Sammy, we just say, "Nice job, sir." Until next time, Vulcan roll, my friends, and I'll see you.